What we're going to be getting into is a new player tutorial. So if you're a beginner and you're brand new to the game, that's what this is about. I'm just going to go over some very basic things here. When you start a new character, you have this rusty sword and the bard's bow. So I'm just going to run with that for now. Simulate as if I don't have any. Does a new player have gold? Does a new player have anything? I wonder if I could even finish a dungeon with nothing, just to see if that's possible. No food items? What does a new player start with? Actually, let's look at the maps real quick. There's a little map thing right here on the wall next to your stash. This is your stash right here. Maybe I should back up to the town first. Let's back up a little bit to the town. Talmuth. Okay, I know. I'm just gonna go out to the town so you can see. This is Talmuth. I'm in Talmuth right now. If you're a new player, you probably know what Talmuth is. Here's the map. Whoops. Right there's the map. And you can see the tavern, the well, general store. Matter of fact, if you're a brand new player, you might be able to make some stuff here. Let's see here. I think a new player starts with a little bit of gold. That's general store. It's on the map as well. It says general store. Okay, then we go into the general store. The reason I'm going in here is so that I can just pick up, because if I were a new player, I would come in here and I would go to the items. Actually, you want to get a ring of rejuvenation eventually. I don't think a new player has 500 gold just yet. Okay, so, but they have these ceramic jugs. So let's just, I think a new player has a little bit of gold. I keep saying new player, but check this out. We're going to buy like 3 of these ceramic jugs. I don't even know if I can get water right now, but I'm going to try it. I think you can get get some water. You can come over here, maybe. Yeah, let's me get some water. Cool, so I got 3 water. I could probably get more. Let's see. Pretty sure a brand new player has a little bit of gold. So I'm trying to work with a little bit of, I only spent 3 gold so far. I'm going to spend a little bit more gold and buy a few more of these. Hey, what's up, doctor? I'll buy 3 more. So if you have 6 gold, there. So far we've spent 6 gold. I'm going to go back to the well and get a little bit more water. So the well will dry up after so many uses. There, I got six of those. So that's the well, right? And it's right here on the map. It says well. There's this thing in the bottom of the map right there. It says mill, alchemy table, and mill. So we're gonna head on over there to the alchemy table and the mill. There's a reason why. So after you get your water, head on over here. I only got 6 water. That cost me 6 gold. There should be some free flour over here. Should be. Yep, there's some flour right there. I can see those bags of flour. It's a flour mill. So it's a limited stash of flour. So you could come back and forth and keep taking these, but they'll eventually run out. I'm just trying to show you how you can get some bread, because we're going to use the bread in their first dungeon run. If you're a brand new player, you've never been on a dungeon run, I'm trying to take you. Awesome, doctor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6. There, because I got 6 and 6. I'm just trying to show you guys how this. I could probably get more. I probably should get more. Because I'm gonna do a dungeon run as well, so I don't know how challenging it's gonna be with my setup, but I think it'll be okay. And I'm gonna go through that with you guys. If I die, so be it. Maybe I'll do another tutorial, but I think I'll be fine. I don't think it's that hard. So right over here. Okay, so see, if you look at your map, after you get 6 ceramic jugs and you fill them up with water, and you get 6 bags of flour, okay, there's this thing at the top of the map called a stove. And you go to the stove, click on that, and then you can make baked bread. You just click create all. Sometimes it's going to burn the item, I made one. Man, I'm burning a lot of stuff. I might have to make more, actually. Yeah, so I made 3 pieces of bread. It's kind of interesting because I just spent only 6 gold, right? So if you're a new player and you just spent 6 gold on ceramic jugs, well, now you can go back and you could use these bread to help you survive in the adventure, or you can go sell the bread for 5 gold each. That could be like 15 gold right there. You just turn 6 gold into 15 gold. It doesn't last forever. I'm gonna make a little bit more bread just so that I can hopefully survive a little bit better in the adventure, because what we're doing as a new player, we're just making a few little preparations for the adventure. If somebody could tell me if a new player starts with any gold, that would be helpful for this tutorial. I'm not sure. Once you get the ball rolling, once you get a little bit of gold, we could work with that. So I'm going over to the general. Actually, I'm going to go to the stash real quick. I know this is a lot to take in. So you're going to be, if you're in, you're going to be visiting the stash a lot. The stash is in here in the tavern. Okay, it shows up on the map as like a pitcher of beer or something. So go into this tavern. When you go into the tavern, there's a couple of things in here you can interact with. But we're not getting into that right now. We're just going to go up the stairs, because I don't want to overload you with information. And then if you go to the back of the room here, there's your little stash. That's it. We'll get into more advanced stuff later. I'm just going to put, if you right click on it, it will put all your bread away. If you left click on the bread, it'll just put 1 bread away. And if I right click on it, they all go away. If I right click on the ceramic jugs, they all go away. So I'm going to get some more. I'll just see here. I'll just go buy them for the sake of the tutorial. I probably have more in my stash, but I'm just going to go buy some more ceramic jugs. So we spent 6 gold so far. I hope you start with a little bit more gold. So if you were to try to do the maximum in one run, let's try that. It is, I think it's here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9. I think I did that right. So so 9, you gotta buy half of it. Half of the maximum that you can carry, because you gotta fill the other half with flour. So we go to resources, ceramic jugs. I'm gonna try to buy 9. Let's see here. If you started with 15 gold in the game, you're able to do this. Okay, so I got 9. I'm gonna try to fill them all up with water. Right over here at the well. Okay, fill them all up with well. And if you're brand new to this game, I would just keep doing that process until you can't do it anymore, and it'll eventually refresh, maybe like another day or something. But that's a good way to like start getting skills and gold. Don't sell all your bread right away, because we're gonna need that for the first adventure. See how the flour is disappearing? And eventually, just you can't get any more for the day. It'll take time to refresh. Okay, so all I'm doing now, so all I did was I got the ceramic jugs, I filled them up with water, and I went to the flour mill, picked up some flour. It's 9 and 9, because it takes 1 of each to make a piece of bread. So you have an even number, 9 and 9, like that. You have a balance. So we come to the stove now, and we're gonna just click create all, because it takes 1 bread and 1 flour and 1 jug of water to create it. And we're gonna create all. And then So if you're brand new, what you're doing is you're getting ready for your adventure. We're gonna go do an adventure. And I'm just gonna assume the new player doesn't have enough money to buy a... Actually, I think sorry about that. I think my background audio, I turned it up yesterday. It's probably way too loud right now. Do that. All right, so so after this, go ahead and head back to the stash so you can clean out your inventory just a little bit. Right now I have a bunch of empty ceramic jugs, and those are they're not going to do me any good on the adventure. They're just going to take up space. A lot of people have been asking how to get started in this game. That comes up a lot, so I wanted to put some kind of tutorial out there to help you guys out. Let's see here. And what I'm going to do, since I'm in my stash right now, I'm going to go get the bread that I made. I'm just going to take all the bread because this weapon doesn't do a whole lot of damage. You know, none of these weapons do. And I want to make sure I survive. So if you have this much bread, great, bring it. If you have more bread, great, bring it. If you, I mean, it'll help you survive on your first adventure. It may not need it all, but if it's your first time running an adventure, bring as much bread as you can to help you survive. Okay. Okay, so where am I going right now? I'm going to this adventure pass. All I have is a bunch of bread. That's it. And the adventure pass is, as you can see in the map, it's like there's a sword in the cave up there. So if you go up this, and it says adventure pass, that's where we're headed. So if you head up there, whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Wrong trail there. I'll just keep the map up so you guys can see. Yeah, maybe I could do separate tutorials on everything else, but this is just the basic way to get started and start getting some gold. Alright, so there's the adventure pass. When you walk up to this cave here, it'll have a window pop up and you get to select your adventure. Real quick, if you're brand new to the game, don't go in any of these adventures with 2, 3, 4, 5. If it has more than one sword, do not go in it. You will more than likely just die. You just want to go in the one sword. But right now there's only one sword map, and that's called Forgotten Chambers. That's it. I did not bring a pickaxe. So if you have a pickaxe, or if you can get a pickaxe, bring one with you. So actually I'm going to go do that real quick because I feel like a new player starts with a little bit of gold. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, then tell me. I'll do another tutorial with no gold at all, and we'll run through that. So I've only spent like 15 gold so far. I'm gonna spend a little bit more gold. Maybe, let's see. I mean, let's see. I don't know how much these pickaxes are running right now. So it would behoove you to get this little pickaxe before you. It's a crude pickaxe. It's 41 gold. I don't know if a new player can start with one of those. There are other options. I think you could make one, but we're not getting into that right now. So I hope the new player has, if I add 41 gold to what I spent, that's 56 gold. If the new player has 56 gold, you can pull this off. All my slots are in use. Okay. I'll just cancel one. Crude Pickaxe, buy for 41 gold. Cool. I've actually only spent 40 gold, so I'm gonna subtract 1 from that. So 55 gold is all we've spent in this tutorial so far. I got a crude pickaxe. Done. And that went to my stash. So you got to go back to your stash and pick it up. You're not going to see it in your inventory right now. Don't worry, it's in your stash. So if you walk over to your stash in the tavern, you can pick that up. And then you go to tools and pick up your crude pickaxe. And all you do is you could click on it, left click on it one time, and then you can click equip tool on the right hand side. like that. Or you can just drag and drop it to the tool slot right there. Either one works. So now I'm going to head back over to Adventure Pass. If your setup looks like mine, at least, got the pickaxe, you got some bread, should be fine. No worries. And when we go through the dungeon, actually before we get into the dungeon, once we get in there, I'll talk about the controls and some of the little. I'll talk about a little bit of tweaks, a little bit of adjustments, maybe like camera angle adjustment. I'll talk about that just a little bit once we get in there. So we're gonna go to Forgotten Chambers. That's it. Okay, we start there. We could even do tutorials on all these other maps later, but start with Forgotten Chambers. All right, so we're in the chamber, right? Once you enter the chamber, once you enter any adventure, if you accidentally entered like the wrong adventure, you could just hit escape and abandon. You're not going to lose anything. It's perfectly fine. It just takes you out of the adventure. You still have all your bread. You're good. Okay, nothing to worry about. Like I could even accidentally go into shallow swamps. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. What do I do? Oh my god. If I start running around, I'm stuck in the adventure. I can't get out. But if I click abandon right away, no harm, no foul. Makes sense? And don't idle in there for too long. If you sit there for too long and wait, you lose that opportunity. So if you accidentally go in the wrong adventure, escape, abandon adventure. Okay? I think that's a really powerful tip there. And now I'm back in Forgotten Chambers. All right. Good. Real quick, here's how I set up the game a little bit. So I'm just going to say you guys are playing with the keyboard, and if you move around, you can run around real quick, and if you hold shift, if you push shift like this, it'll stop and just attack. I'm holding shift and the left click. So right now I'm just holding left click, and then if I hold shift, it'll stop and start swinging the sword. You don't necessarily have to click on the monster to attack it. The same is true for the right click. But the thing with the right click, the reason why I'm not showing you the right click right now is because when you do the right click, it consumes energy, and your energy is somewhat limited. If you drain your energy all the way to 0, it will regenerate a little bit. Your energy is the blue bar. All right. If you hit escape and go to settings and go to controls, that move hold instant, that's the left shift. What I like to do is I like to also make it the S key, and then I make the camera rotation alpha and delta, A and D, right here. Camera rotate right A, camera rotate left D. So now when you have your left hand over the ASD, that middle button S will stop. You can just say it's S, it'll make your character stop, and as long as you're holding down the mouse button to attack, it will attack. I think that's really super easy to use as opposed to reaching for that shift key. So that makes it, to me, more comfortable. It's probably a good habit to get into early on. And then you also have easy access to the Q key, because the Q is going to cycle between the bow and the sword. You have access to everything right there with just that little group of keys. And then you can rotate the camera angle depending on where you're looking in the dungeon, okay? And then if you scroll your mouse, you can zoom in and zoom out. I recommend keeping it maximum zoomed out. I think we're good to go, guys. So mind you, if this is your first time running through the dungeon, no, you don't want to rush. You want to go slow and smooth, to conserve your resources. Okay. I'm using right clicks. That's a right click, and you can run away from these mobs. It's not too hard. Notice one of the strategies I'm using. It's like this: hit and move, hit and move. He can't even hit me I mean, it takes practice. You can hit and move. See that? I'm just using left clicks. You could use this strategy. Okay, he hit me for 10. But you could use this strategy throughout the whole dungeon if you wanted to. Take your time. If it's your first dungeon, sure, why not? You could. There's even more strategy you can use, which is just using your bow. I'll switch over to the bow. And I'll talk about another strategy in a second here. I'm just going to try to kill him with the bow. There, it only took me one right click to kill that guy. Yeah, one right click. You could probably just right click with your bow through this whole dungeon if you wanted to. And the other strategy I was going to mention is, even if you drain all your energy, as long as you're taking your time, your energy will constantly be regenerating. So you can always use right clicks throughout the whole dungeon. You might not need to consume any food. Probably kill him with left click. It would probably take a few. I'll just use the right click. So this bow is actually pretty useful. Do a left click? No. Do a right click on that. There we go. It would take like 3 left clicks. Okay, so I think I'll just use right clicks. Because if I'm going at this pace, I may not need to consume any bread. But if you have to consume bread, no worries, it's perfectly fine. Each piece of bread will give you 50 health. So check this out, it dropped some loot on the ground. It dropped some Skeletor bones. So, and I already picked one up earlier. So if you remember when we started, we only spent like 56 gold. That was it. So I hope a brand new player starts with at least 56 gold, because you'll be able to do the exact same thing I'm doing right now. And these Skeletor bones are selling right now for 15 gold. Look at that. I just technically made 30 gold. And I just got into the dungeon. The easiest dungeon. Yeah, I would recommend using just keep using right clicks for these guys. Left clicks, it'll take like a few hits. And you can always get your energy back. If you see my character stop and swing like that, that's because I'm using that technique I showed you guys in the beginning. Shift, and then click the mouse, and you can practice it before you actually start moving around in the dungeon. You can even practice it out in town. It's probably a good thing to do. Get some practice out in the town. And it really doesn't get any more challenging than what you see right here. There's no bosses in here. See, my energy starts coming back. Okay, so right here, I gotta talk about this because if you were running through the dungeon with me, you might have got burned. See this little pad on the ground? See the difference? Whoops, about to touch it. Maybe I'll just touch it to show you guys. This, see the ground, how it's a little different right there? If I step on that, it's like this ground right here. If I step on that, there is that right there, that little hole in the wall up there, it'll shoot fire out. See that? And it'll burn me. The damage from the fire is somewhat significant. If you get burned a lot in here, that could kill you. That's a trap. So to avoid that, if you look at the ground and see how the only so much of the ground is covered by that trap. If I walk this way, I can go around it. See that? I'm not stepping on the trap. Tempted to step on it just for the sake of teaching you guys here. I'll step on it just because I want to show you guys what happens. If I walk to the side a little bit, if I walk a little bit more, I'll probably get burned. See that? It's a trap. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. So that was like, I don't know, that was like 250, 300 damage. So it's somewhat significant. If you get burned a lot, that'll eventually kill you. Now you know. But same with the lava over here. The lava is even worse. I'm not going to step in the lava, but if you notice, if you're running around and you're going super fast and you accidentally click on the lava, your character will find a way to walk in it. That's even more damage. So you can walk in the lava and you will get burned. So I'm just navigating the map. If you push M, you can see an overlay of the map. It also shows in the bottom of the screen. And just, you don't necessarily, how do I say this? Actually, let me if you do get stuck, you can adjust the opacity of the map. I'm just gonna make the map a little brighter so I can show you guys. If you do get stuck and you're like, oh, where do I go? I don't know, I'm lost. Well, if you look at the map, I put the opacity to maximum, and if you look at that on the screen, it's hard to, it might be hard for you guys to see, but there's a part on there that's a little bit faded. Like everything is pretty easy to see, but one part of it is really faded. That's the direction you want to go. I'm gonna head towards that little faded area because that's the path I haven't explored yet. You know, there's starting to be mobs in there. Okay, here's some more little fire traps. So these little pits, see how the fire pops up? If you run over it while the fire's popping up, like now it's cooled down. But if you run over it while there's fire coming out of it, you'll get burned. So watch out for that. These torches on the wall, they don't burn you, but those traps on the ground, yes, they will burn you. So I say take your time and just walk around them. My energy keeps regenerating. And I'm just right-clicking everything. If I run out of right-clicks, okay, I'll use left-clicks, but at this pace, I should be okay. I'm not too worried. I brought some bread. So also another strategy, if you do run out of energy and you're really trying to survive, you can just run around in circles. The mobs won't hit you. They're not that fast. You just run around, and notice while I'm doing this, my energy is still regenerating. So I'm gathering some energy. And you can hit them and run, or you could just stand and hit them with the right click. I'll try the... I hit them and run. There we go. Alright, check this out. The rune dropped a rune hide. That's pretty cool, because those are worth 55 gold. Money. Very nice. Moving right along. I don't think I've used any bread yet. If you do want to use bread, you just, all you do is left click on the bread. Here, I'll use a piece of bread just to show you guys. If you right click on it, it will just fall on the ground. That's not what you want to do. You want to left click on it. So left click on a piece of bread. It'll give me some life back. 50 health. Check my map, see where I gotta go. Okay, I figured it out. It's that light area over here. Oops, I got burned. Don't do that. I was going a little fast. If you watch it though, you can see when it stops, when the fire stops. Then you know you can go. Alright. I don't think I ran into any mining yet. But when I run into mining, I'll show you guys that. I would be taking a lot less damage if I had the energy to right click him, so that's it. See how that's what happens. Like if you don't have the energy, a little bit more challenging because this is the weakest weapon, and later on you guys can get nicer weapons. Maybe we'll do that in the second tutorial about that. Right now I just wanted to go through this and show you guys how to run your first adventure. Just keep moving in the. And if you get lost, just look at your map and check for the light area, the one that's harder to see. All right, I found a mining node over here. Mining node, N-O-D-E. It's common. That's what they're referred to as. It's just this rock right here, this little sparkly rock. And because I brought the crude pickaxe, I can mine it. To mine the rock, all you do is left click on it, and it'll also get the attention of some mobs if they're in the room. So I just kill them if they come to you. I found some seismic dust. That is worth 7 gold. Cool. And whenever you do mining, whenever you perform that mining action, you also get skills. What's up, Vic? Alright, so we found the exit. If you find the exit, depending on, like, what I like to do is I run through it. If I find the exit, that's fine. I'll just exit out. And if you really want to go, but if you really want to go for like 100% completion of the dungeon, you can run around and try to find everything. So it depends on your playstyle. And I got some more gold. Alright, so this is the exit, and all you have to do is click on it. You can also adjust your game settings. You just go to settings, and you can go to game. Hi, oopsie, doing good. And you just go to, I'm just trying to show you one more thing. You go to video, no, game, controls. Is that it? I'm gonna find it. Where's that? I show exit confirmation right there. See how I have show exit confirmation? It says on. So if it says on, it's on. It says off, it's off. That off, on. I have show exit confirmation on, and I'll do both just to show you guys what happens. When I left click on the exit, it will say, are you sure you want to exit? So that could be useful if, like, maybe you opened up the chest and you immediately clicked on this. But if you did that and you didn't have this pop-up confirmation, and then like a mythical weapon drops out of the chest, well, you just abandon it. But if you click on this and then you hear this noise of this magical sound of a guitar riff, and then you hear that, you got to close it, click the close and go pick it up because something dropped, you know. But if I disable this, if I come in here to settings and I turn that off, right, I go to game, turn off the show exit confirmation, and I open up the chest, and then there's some monster chasing me, so I just click on that. It doesn't give me an option to say yes or no. It just takes me out of the dungeon. So it's up to you. It depends on your playstyle. We just finished the dungeon and got 514 experience, 159 mining experience, 60 gold. So if you remember in the tutorial in the beginning, we only started with about 54, 55 gold. Yes, I'm wearing some gaming glasses. What else? Seismic dust, skeletal bones. So you made over 100 gold here just running through your first dungeon, and yeah, it wasn't too hard. It was, I think any new player could do that pretty easily. I think I used only one piece of bread, so you might not need to use any bread, and you might get out of the dungeon. You're like, oh well, I'm glad I brought all that bread, you know, or you might need it for another dungeon, but you're like, oh, that was pretty easy. I don't need this bread. I'm just gonna go sell it. So you can go do that, and I'll just show you guys how to sell the bread. That'll be the last part of the tutorial for this tutorial. I'll just show you if you wanna sell the stuff that you have. That's it, because somebody might wanna sell their stuff. So I'll just show them how to do that. Yeah, I'll upload this, no problem. That's the plan. So all you gotta do is right click on all the stuff that you picked up from the dungeon. It goes into your stash. You gotta put it in your stash first for you to be able to sell it. Okay. And then exit the tavern. Come out of the tavern. And we're gonna go over to this place called the Emporium. They push M. You see it says Royal Emporium just across the street here. So you walk this way, Royal Emporium is right over here. You hover over the door, it says Royal Emporium. When you come inside, you don't need to run around and explore. There's a guy right here, Oliver. You just talk to him, and you've just accessed the Royal Emporium. So, you made some bread, right? So, you can go to your owned stuff, and you can just find your bread. And you click on the bread, click Create Sell Order. How much bread do you want to sell? You want to sell 10 pieces of bread for 5 gold? See if that works. Doesn't work. You could leave it there and wait. It might sell. Let's just try 10 pieces of bread for 4 gold just to see what happens. Cool, it sold. So I just got 40 more gold. There. So if you're a new player, you're 40 gold richer. And what else did you find? You found some Skeletor bones. Let's see if we can get rid of those Skeletor bones for 15 gold each. I think we found like 2 Skeletor bones. See if we can get 30 more gold here. Awesome, I just got 30 more gold. So brand new player, you could do the same thing. We found some seismic dust. Found like 1 piece of seismic dust. See if I could sell that too. This one might be good to hold on to. Let's just hold on to it. I would recommend holding on to that one. So I don't want to steer new players in the wrong direction, because 7 gold is pretty cheap, and that item might be useful later. That's something else to consider. Okay, because there's a lot of that speculation that goes on too. What will it be used for in the future? Right now, seismic dust doesn't have a whole lot of uses. Alright, so that's the Emporium. We'll probably do a separate tutorial on the Blockchain Emporium. I think that pretty much gets the new player going. Got you through your first adventure. Showed you how to make some bread. And get your Crude Pickaxe. So, one more thing, I'll just add this on because it's really easy to touch on. I showed you guys where the market was. It's right over here. You just come down here a little bit, there's the market. If you keep repeating that process that we just went through, like I think we just made over 100 gold in one run. If you do that a couple times, you can come over here to the market. You can upgrade. You could eventually buy yourself a better weapon for 500 gold. But before you get a better weapon, I strongly recommend getting this Ring of Rejuvenation. That's really powerful. That will heal you up to 700 health. Regenerates 2 health every second, up to 700 health. It's 500 gold. So that should be the first thing you get. And then get one of these weapons. I like the Barbarian's Blade. I think it has a nice, it's good. It's a faster attack speed. Guard's Katana does a little bit more damage, but it's a little slower. But it's up to you. You can buy them all and test them all out to get a feel for the weapons. Get yourself a Guard's Bow. Okay, so there's some cool stuff to explore with there, and then maybe you can do your first uncommon map. Hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you all in the game.